Do you use overdraft protection for your checking account? At first, it feels like it's all upside, but there are a couple of downsides that you should know about. It could make your overdraft protection backfire on you and your money. I'm Beverly, and here's what you need to know about overdraft protection. Overdraft protection prevents you from having NSF fees or insufficient funds in your account if you make a transaction and you don't have the money in the account to cover it. But it doesn't always work that way. Did you know that the bank can still decline your transaction or your purchase and you still get that NSF fee? Or the bank could accept that transaction. Just be aware that it isn't foolproof. When you open a checking account, you're asked about this. Find out if they charge an overdraft fee, even if you have protection. Some do that, some don't. You have the option of linking to a savings account or a line of credit or a credit card. Let's take a look at each scenario and see which is best, which is okay, and which is bad. The first scenario, if linked to a savings account, that is the best option as long as you have money in that account, if you must use overdraft protection. Number two, line of credit. You have to pay interest on that. And it's not compound interest, but still, I don't want you to pay interest. For businesses who have cash flow issues, they'll do a business line of credit. But for you as an individual, it is not ideal. Now, here is a big downside. The third option is a credit card. The problem is credit card issuers will process that as a cash advance, and you will have to pay interest with no grace period. And a cash advance APR can be as high as almost 30%. There's another big downside that doesn't seem really related to all this. Oh, but it is. You'll see. Another downside to using overdraft protection is becoming too relaxed about spending more money than you have because you know you're going to be covered. The same problem can happen with buy now, pay later loans. You get used to having what you want right now instead of waiting until you have the money. This can create a situation where you're on a treadmill of living beyond your means. You start out walking, but before you know it, the speed increases and you start running to keep from being thrown off that treadmill. Eventually, though, you will be thrown off. So it's time to get off now if that's what you've been doing with overdraft protection. Instead of living on the edge all the time, I have some money management hacks that might make life a little bit better for you and help you bring back your sanity. Set up alerts. There are all kinds of alerts that you can set up, but set up an alert for low balances and try to use some budgeting apps and live within your means. Even if you insist on having overdraft protection, I want you to make it a habit to check your accounts first and try to avoid it if you can. I'm not going to tell you that you should never set up overdraft protection because that's a type of one-size-fits-all approach that I don't take with personal finance. I don't have any idea what specific challenges you might be facing, and I respect that. I really do. So I know you're doing the best you can. And if you're self-employed, as I am, I know that sometimes you might be waiting on a payment from a client and it's late. So there might be a situation where you've got a temporary cash flow issue and you need to have that in place just in case. I get it that there might be times, especially if you don't have an emergency fund, where you have to do what you have to do, but try not to link it to a credit card. But my role as your consumer advocate is to tell you what the facts are so that you know what the pitfalls are and what the upsides are to personal finance issues. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.